Can you imagine, for just a moment, that the family you were born into wasn't an accident? What if, before you even entered this world, your soul meticulously chose your family, not randomly, not carelessly, but with the precision and vision of a master artist crafting their masterpiece? Imagine your soul looking at the challenges of this life and saying, "This is where I will grow. This is where I will awaken." It's a profound thought, isn't it? Yet, here you are, questioning that very decision. You might be asking yourself, why me? Why was I placed in a family that feels more like a battlefield than a sanctuary? Why does the environment that was meant to nurture me seem to have chipped away at my spirit instead? I've been there. You've been there. And if you're here now, it's because you're searching for answers. You're seeking a deeper understanding of your pain, your struggles, and your purpose. Here's the truth: being born into a toxic family is not a punishment. It's not some cruel twist of fate or karma coming back to haunt you. It's a gift, a monumental, life-altering, paradigm-shifting gift. I know, it doesn't feel like a gift. Not yet. It feels unfair. It feels heavy. It feels like a burden you didn't ask to carry. But that's why we're here. Together, let's go deep into this mystery, peeling back the layers of pain and uncovering the profound wisdom hidden within. Because the reality is, your family wasn't meant to break you, it was meant to forge you. The very experiences that seem to wound your soul may, in fact, be the key to unlocking your true strength and purpose. So, as we begin this journey, let me ask you, what if everything you've endured was part of a greater plan? What if your soul's choice was deliberate, intentional, and filled with purpose? And what if, through all the chaos and dysfunction, you've been given the chance to rise, to awaken as one of the chosen ones? Let's explore this truth together. Toxic families as catalysts for transformation. Toxic families are like fire. They burn, they scar, and they hurt in ways that words often cannot describe. But fire doesn't just destroy, it also forges. It tempers steel, hardens resolve, and transforms raw material into something unbreakable. In the same way, the pain and chaos of a toxic family are not merely random occurrences or cruel misfortunes. They are a crucible, shaping you into something extraordinary. For chosen ones, toxic families serve as the perfect training ground for spiritual growth and transformation. Let's pause and reflect on this. Why would anyone, especially a soul as profound and unique as yours, choose to be born into such a painful environment? It's because chosen ones aren't here for an ordinary life. You weren't meant to blend in or settle for mediocrity. You were meant to rise above, to transcend, and to break the cycles of dysfunction that have persisted for generations. This is the essence of your role as a chosen one. You're not here to simply survive your circumstances. You're here to transform them. Toxicity in families often runs deeper than surface-level conflicts or disagreements. It's ancestral. It's generational. It's the accumulation of unhealed wounds, suppressed emotions, and unconscious patterns that have been passed down through your lineage. Think about it: the anger, neglect, or manipulation you may have experienced didn't originate with you. It's a reflection of pain carried by those who came before you, a burden they couldn't heal or release. And now, you, as a chosen one, stand at the crossroads of this cycle. Your presence in this lineage isn't accidental, it's purposeful. You were born to break these patterns, to heal not just for yourself, but for those who came before you and those who will come after. But why does transformation require such pain? The truth is, you can't heal what you don't understand. You can't rise above what you haven't faced. That's why your soul chose to be placed in the center of the storm, not to drown in it, but to learn how to swim. Toxic families force us to confront the raw, unfiltered truth of the human condition. They strip away illusions of fairness or ease, demanding that we confront life's hardships head-on. This confrontation is the foundation of your awakening. It's what prepares you to step into your true purpose. When you examine your family, what do you see? Is it anger, manipulation, or neglect? More importantly, where do you see echoes of those energies in yourself? Toxic families don't just wound us, they reflect us. They act as mirrors, exposing the parts of ourselves that we might be too afraid to face. And this is where the transformation begins. In the fire of dysfunction, you are given a rare and profound gift, the opportunity to see yourself clearly, to heal your own wounds, and to rise above the patterns that once held you back. Let's not sugarcoat this process. It's one of the hardest paths a soul can choose. Breaking cycles requires immense strength, resilience, and courage. It requires facing rejection, betrayal, and sometimes even abandonment. But each time you choose love over hate, understanding over judgment, and compassion over anger, you are forging something greater. Each choice is a step toward breaking the cycle. Now consider this. What if your family's dysfunction is not a reflection of your worth but of their unhealed pain? What if their inability to love you the way you deserve has nothing to do with you being unlovable, but everything to do with their struggles to love themselves? This shift in perspective is where the true power lies. When you stop seeing your family as the enemy and start viewing them as wounded souls doing the best they can, you begin to unlock the transformative potential of your circumstances. Toxic families, as painful as they are, provide the perfect environment for chosen ones to awaken to their purpose. They are the fires that forge your strength, the challenges that build your resilience, and the mirrors that reveal the truth of who you are. It's not about justifying the pain or excusing harmful behavior. It's about recognizing the purpose behind it. This recognition doesn't make the journey easy, but it does make it meaningful. It allows you to rise, to heal, and to transform not only your life but the lives of everyone connected to your lineage. You were not placed in a toxic family to be broken. You were placed there to be forged into something extraordinary. You were chosen to transcend. But this is just the beginning. While toxic families may serve as the crucible that forges you, the true transformation lies in what comes next: self-awareness and healing. In the fire of dysfunction, you are gifted with an opportunity to truly see yourself, not just the wounds inflicted upon you, but the strength, resilience, and potential within you. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into how toxic families act as mirrors, reflecting the unhealed parts of yourself, and how embracing this reflection can become the catalyst for profound healing. Stay with us as we uncover how the journey from pain to self-awareness can unlock the power within you, setting you free from the patterns of the past and guiding you toward your highest purpose. The gift of self-awareness and healing. Toxic families don't just wound us, they reflect us. In their dysfunction, we see not only their unhealed pain but also glimpses of our own. This is one of the most challenging truths for chosen ones to face. Yet it is also where the greatest transformation begins. Toxic families, as painful as they are, act as mirrors, showing us the parts of ourselves we might be too afraid or unwilling to confront. And it's through this reflection that the gift of self-awareness emerges. Let's start with a simple but profound question. When you look at your family's behavior, the anger, neglect, manipulation, or control, where do you see those same energies within yourself? This is not an accusation but an invitation. The truth is, the patterns we despise in others often exist within us in subtler forms. The dysfunction of our families magnifies these patterns, forcing us to acknowledge them. This isn't meant to punish you, it's meant to awaken you. For example, maybe you were raised in a family where anger was the primary mode of communication. You might have grown up resenting this anger, vowing never to be like them. Yet, when you pause and reflect, you might notice moments when that same anger arises within you, perhaps in a different form, perhaps directed inward. Or consider a family dynamic where love was conditional, based on performance or approval. You may find yourself chasing perfection or external validation, believing deep down that your worth is tied to your achievements. These are hard truths to face, but they are essential for growth. Why is this reflection a gift? Because you can't heal what you don't understand. Self-awareness allows you to see the cycles and patterns that have kept you trapped, not just within your family, but within yourself. It's the first step toward breaking free, not by running away from your family, but by confronting and healing the parts of you that resonate with their pain. Healing, however, is not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you were before the wounds. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning that have been placed on you and reconnecting with the truth of who you are. This process begins when you recognize that the pain inflicted by your family is not about you, it's about them. Their anger, neglect, or inability to love you the way you deserve isn't a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their unhealed wounds. But here's where the journey takes a turn. Somewhere along the way, you internalized their pain. You took it on as your own, believing their inability to love you was a statement about your worth. This is where the real work begins, the work of untangling yourself from their narratives and reclaiming your identity. Let me ask you this: what would it look like to separate yourself from the story your family wrote for you? What would it feel like to release the belief that their dysfunction defines you? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are the keys to unlocking your freedom. Self-awareness opens the door, but healing is the process of walking through it. Healing requires 3 essential elements: self-love, self-compassion, and self-discipline. Self-love is the foundation. It's the radical act of choosing yourself, even when no one else does. It's the practice of honoring your needs, setting boundaries, and recognizing your inherent worth, regardless of how your family treated you. Self-compassion is the voice that reminds you it's okay to feel hurt, to make mistakes, and to not have it all figured out. It's the gentle reminder that healing is a journey, not a destination. And then there's self-discipline, the commitment to show up for yourself every day, even when it's hard, even when the old patterns call you back. This process isn't easy. It's messy, uncomfortable, and often feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There will be days when the weight of your family's pain feels unbearable, when the scars they left seem impossible to heal. But those moments are also where the greatest breakthroughs happen. Each time you choose love over hate, compassion over judgment, and truth over fear, you're not just healing yourself, you're breaking the cycle. Toxic families give us the opportunity to turn pain into purpose, wounds into wisdom, and dysfunction into liberation. They force us to confront the parts of ourselves we'd rather ignore. But in doing so, they give us the chance to heal in ways that go far beyond our own lives. As you heal, you create a ripple effect that transforms not only your present but also your lineage, past, and future. You're not just healing for yourself, you're healing for everyone connected to you. So, let me ask you, when you think about the pain your family has caused, what emotions come up? Anger? Resentment? Sadness? And now, the deeper question: what are those emotions teaching you about yourself? The answers to these questions hold the key to your transformation. Healing isn't about erasing the scars. They will always be a part of your story. But those scars are a testament to your strength, resilience, and capacity for growth. They remind you that you are not defined by the pain you've endured, but by the way you've chosen to rise above it. This is the gift of self-awareness and healing. It's not just about overcoming your past. It's about stepping into your future with clarity, purpose, and power. In the next section, we'll explore the challenge of forgiveness and letting go, not for their sake, but for yours. It's here that the true liberation begins, where the chains of resentment are broken, and the weight of your family's pain is lifted. Stay with us as we take this transformative journey deeper into the heart of healing. As you begin to uncover the profound lessons hidden within your pain, the next step on this journey is one of the most difficult yet liberating: forgiveness and letting go. This isn't about excusing harmful behavior or pretending the wounds don't exist. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment and reclaiming your peace. In the next section, We'll explore how forgiveness can be a tool for personal liberation, helping you detach from the toxicity that no longer serves you. Together, we'll uncover how letting go allows you to step fully into your power as a chosen one. Stay with us as we dive into this transformative act of release and discover the freedom that awaits. Breaking free and embracing the role of a chosen one. Breaking free is not about running away from your family's dysfunction or cutting ties with them, although in some cases, distance may be necessary for your well-being. True freedom goes much deeper. It's about untangling yourself from the invisible chains of inherited patterns, beliefs, and stories that have kept you bound to the toxicity of your past. Breaking free is an internal liberation, one that begins not with your family, but with you. Ask yourself, what patterns from your family are you unconsciously repeating? What beliefs about yourself have you inherited from their words or actions? What stories have you told yourself about who you are because of how they treated you? These are the questions that illuminate the path to freedom. For example, maybe you grew up in a family where love was given conditionally, only when you met their expectations or achieved something significant. As a result, you may find yourself constantly striving for perfection, chasing external validation, and believing your worth is tied to what you accomplish. Or perhaps you were in a family where your voice was dismissed, your feelings ignored, and your ideas silenced. Now, you may struggle to trust your intuition or express your truth. These patterns, beliefs, and stories are the chains that bind you to your family's dysfunction. Breaking free begins with awareness, recognizing what you've internalized and understanding how it continues to influence your life. But awareness alone is not enough. The true transformation happens when you take responsibility, not for their actions, but for your healing. Taking responsibility is a radical act. It means no longer waiting for your family to change, apologize, or validate your experiences. It means understanding that your healing does not depend on them, it depends on you. This can be a hard truth to accept, especially if you've spent years hoping for their acknowledgement or love. But here's the liberating reality. You don't need their permission to heal. You have the power to reclaim your worth and rewrite your story, regardless of how they respond. Healing requires a combination of self-love, self-compassion, and self-discipline. Self-love is the foundation. It's the decision to prioritize your well-being and honor your needs, even if your family never did. It's about recognizing that you are enough, just as you are, without needing to prove your worth to anyone. Self-compassion is the gentle reminder that it's okay to feel hurt, to struggle, and to take your time. Healing is not a linear process. It's messy and imperfect, and that's okay. Finally, self-discipline is the commitment to show up for yourself every day. It's the practice of making choices that align with your highest self, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. Breaking free also means redefining what freedom looks like. It's not just about walking away from toxic relationships or physical environments. It's about emotional and spiritual liberation. True freedom is when their words, actions, and judgments no longer control you. It's when their dysfunction no longer defines you, and their toxicity no longer limits you. This kind of freedom allows you to live in alignment with your truth, rather than reacting to their pain. But here's an important distinction. Breaking free doesn't mean abandoning your family or refusing to love them, unless it's necessary for your safety. Breaking free is not about cutting ties but detaching from their energy, expectations, and narratives. It means loving them from a place of wholeness rather than obligation. It means seeing them for who they are, flawed, wounded, and imperfect human beings, and choosing to rise above their pain instead of being consumed by it. As you heal, something extraordinary happens. You become a mirror. Your transformation reflects back to your family what is possible. Even if they don't say it or show it, your healing can plant a seed of change within them. By stepping into your power, you give others permission to do the same. This ripple effect is the true power of a chosen one. You don't have to force anyone to change. Your light does the work for you. Breaking free is about stepping out of the role your family casts you in and stepping into the truth of who you are. It's about reclaiming your identity and rewriting your story from a place of empowerment. You were not born into a toxic family by accident. You were born into it because you are strong enough to rise above it, because you are wise enough to learn from it, because you are brave enough to heal it, not by fixing them, but by transforming yourself. Let me ask you this: what would your life look like if you fully embraced your role as a chosen one? If you stopped carrying the weight of their pain and instead used it to fuel your growth? Breaking free is not easy. It's messy, uncomfortable, and requires immense courage. But every step you take toward healing brings you closer to the life you were meant to live, a life of purpose, freedom, and transformation. In the next section, we'll explore what it means to truly let go, letting go of the anger, the resentment, and the weight of the past isn't just an act of forgiveness, it's an act of self-liberation. Together, we'll uncover how releasing the chains of pain can set you free to step fully into your power as a chosen one. Stay with us as we continue this transformative journey. Conclusion: transformation through pain. You were not born into a toxic family by accident. The challenges, the wounds, and the chaos you've endured were not random, they were purposeful. They were the fire that forged you, the soil in which your soul could grow, and the training ground that prepared you to rise. You were born into these circumstances not to be broken, but to transcend them, to heal, and to awaken to the power of your role as a chosen one. Every scar, every painful memory, every moment of doubt has shaped you into who you are today. And while the journey has been anything but easy, it has equipped you with wisdom, strength, and resilience that few possess. You have faced rejection and betrayal, witnessed dysfunction and despair. Yet here you are, ready to transform that pain into purpose and that suffering into strength. This path is not for the faint of heart, but you were chosen for a reason, not because you deserve to suffer, but because you have the capacity to transform suffering into liberation, not just for yourself, but for the generations before and after you. Your healing creates a ripple effect, offering hope, possibility, and freedom to those connected to you. This is your gift as a chosen one. Now, let me leave you with one final question. If you fully embrace the truth of who you are, a chosen one with the power to heal, transform, and transcend, what kind of life would you create? What kind of impact would you leave behind? Remember, your family's toxicity is not your destiny. It is your training ground. It is the challenge that sharpens you, the obstacle that empowers you, and the fire that lights your way. Every time you choose to rise above, every time you choose healing over bitterness, love over resentment, and growth over fear, you are fulfilling your divine purpose. You are not alone in this journey. There are countless chosen ones walking this path alongside you, breaking cycles, healing wounds, and rewriting their destinies. Together, we are creating a new world, one rooted in love, compassion, and truth. So, as you take your next steps, remember this: you are strong enough to rise, wise enough to learn, and brave enough to heal. This is your path. This is your purpose. This is your gift as a chosen one. Walk forward with grace, knowing that your journey is not just about breaking free, but about becoming the fullest, most empowered version of yourself. The world is waiting for your light. Shine it brightly.